I beg, una sorry, good I beg. I just want to ask. I never still see this my Instagram and too. I'm talking about all the social media, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. Some of us we just don't be saying anything. It's not for anything. We just want to know him. Please, his family name. Who is his father? Who is his mother? Who is that? Who are his sisters? I want to even know his cousin. I just want. Can you please come on now? You guys know how to do these things. Social media. Can you please bring this man to our doorstep? We are not satisfied with just this picture. We need more. We want to see him on, native. I want so close for him. I be Taylor. We want to go fund me for him. And this one be the real winner of Big Brother Ninja. You don't understand. It's not about whether what you do right or wrong. Oh, you people don't get the motivation. That's not the word. Somebody help me in the comment section. The thing where this guy revive is our body. That you can actually be a young officer and know your rights, a citizen, and stand on your ground. Like, fuck you, fuck the big man shit. We want to know him, please. I just wake up on an office. I don't quick sleep yesterday night. The police case won't kill me for Benin. Sorry. Sorry. I just wake up. I'm going on social media. I want to see that they've tagged him. Nobody, he's not online. No. Sorry. I'm seeing the way his cronies are crying. Hey, you people are supporting intimidation because you don't like the person. Shut up your mouth! Shut up your dirty gutter mouth. When it's time to defend the oppressors, the rich, the bullies, when it's time to defend the wicked, the law will suddenly be useful. But when the poor, the oppressed is crying and being intimidated, the law turns a blind and I'll go kill that kind of law. Now they can go squeeze that kind of law and the people where they quote that kind of law.
Okay. Let's use this situation that has happened between the Minister of FCT Wike and Lieutenant Ibrahim as a lesson to inform ourselves, because I believe an informed society is what translates into development. Let me start by saying, first of all, I want people to know that there is no minister in Nigeria that can give the least soldier an order. Let me say again, there is no minister. In short, there is nobody apart from the president. That is why he's referred to as giving the title GCFR, that can give a direct order to the least soldier in Nigeria. It's quite unfortunate and quite funny that because our soldiers have been bastardized due to political influence and the rest of it, we tend to look at them as if they are non-entities or they are just dropouts or whatever. Well, first of all, I'm saying this now to reply to what Joe Ibokwe said. It's so funny. It's quite unfortunate that you expect a high level of knowledge from these individuals, but at the end of the day, when they speak or when they behave, it becomes very appalling, right? So first of all, kudos to Lieutenant Yerima. Thanks for being professional. And I tell you, it's knowledge that informs your professionalism. That is in that regards. So now looking at the minister, it's quite unfortunate that to some certain extent, we say if being a minister was a calling, some people are not supposed to be ministers. Actually, they are supposed to be having their calling possibly in motor parks or where there's rowdiness and zero lack of law or due process. Let's look at it. At the end of the day, Wike succeeded in doing what he's supposed to do first as the last now. This is how you're supposed to behave. The fact is, when you get there, you met a soldier there, and a soldier told you that he's under direct order from his superior, that they should man here and ensure that nobody trespasses or whatever. Fine. The next thing I was expecting for you is to turn your convoy or whoever you came with. You have the contact of the Chief of Naval Staff. You have the contact of the Minister of Defense. You have the contact of even the President. So what is expected now is for you, if people really respect rule of law and due process in this country, go back, make a call. Since he has told you this is the person's instruction that he's standing on, say, Are you the one that deployed this soldier to come and do this or do that or whatever? If you say yes, then the case is between you and the person that deployed him or the owner of the property, not the soldier. The soldier is under direct order. And do you know the implication of even disobeying a lawfully given direct order? It's there. To some certain extent, some are even tantamount to unaliving. And you are just here now. Are you the GCFR for God's sake? And imagine the rowdiness. Imagine how, another part of it that I laughed, that was stemming as a result of ignorance, is when you see the police personnel now and some of the soldiers trying to act as if they were going to exchange blow. It's very funny. That can only stem from lack of information and knowledge of your responsibility. And the last thing I want to say here as well is there is no equivalent of police rank with the military as far as the military is concerned. There is no equivalent. Okay? That is that. But at the same time, am I saying that the police cannot arrest a soldier? Of course he can't when he goes foul of the law. That is another strength of even the policeman, that the policeman doesn't know. But in so doing now, there is also, you have to do that in such a way that you don't infringe on the prerogative of the military. And this brings us back to the previous videos I made in regards militarizing the civilian populace or civilizing the military. Do you get it? These are a kind of issues that you need to approach it with so much knowledge. So next time you think that a soldier is deployed, even if he's given an order by the least officer, I am telling you, the order from the least officer to a soldier is more powerful and much more regarded than the order that comes from any minister. Do you get it? I don't know the caliber of people we have in power actually. It's quite funny. And again, the international community now is looking at us. And when they look at Wike now, they say that this is a minister in Nigeria. How does that sound? Some people will equally want to argue that, but even the chiefs, the service chiefs, they salute the ministers or whatever, they are under the ministers. Why saluting them is at their discretion, first of all, number one. And secondly, let's look at it. The military is only administratively to some certain extent, even the administration, administratively to some certain extent, under the civil rule. But operationally, they are not under the civil rule except with the exception of the president and whoever the president delegates. Do you get it? So because you see that they say the minister of this is saluting a governor or whatever, that doesn't mean that the military is completely under the civil authority. Civilization of the military or militarization of the civil populace, that is still where this thing is driving us at. But at the end of the day, thank God, we've been able to have somebody that instead of saluting and say, sorry sir, he stood his ground and said that I am under a direct order from my superior and there's nothing you can do. So, know this and know peace, please.
On the event of the confrontation between the Honorable Minister of FCT, Honorable Nyesom Wike, and a Nigeria naval officer, Lieutenant General Tuko Brutai, retired, who was the Nigerian Chief of Army Staff between the year 2015 down to the year 2021, has called on the Honorable Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, to with immediate effect tender an unequivocal apology to Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is the Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, and also go further to tender a sincere apology to the naval officer whose honor was violated. According to this former Chief of Army Staff, he maintained that the confrontation between Nyesom Wike and this naval officer presents a clear threat to Nigerians' national security, and that with immediate effect, a corrective action must be implemented to avoid further future reckless occurrences. According to the general, Honorable Nyesom Wike's outrage yesterday at that very confrontation and public rebuke of a uniformed officer amounted to a reckless act, one of those rascalities that strikes at the core of Nigerians' command and control structures. He went further to categorically maintain that Nyesom Wike's action yesterday was a gross verbal assault on a uniformed military officer, which in turn he described as a profound indiscipline that strikes at the very foundation of our national security apparatus, and that Wike's action clearly undermines the authority of the federal government of Nigeria and goes further to disrespect the commander-in-chief of the Nigeria Federal Armed Forces, which is the president himself, and also wounds or discourages the morale of every Nigerian military officer who serves under the Nigerian flag. He therefore maintained that Honorable Nyesom Wike must, as a matter of urgency, rise to make an unequivocal apology to the Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Armed Forces, which is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and also tender an unreserved apology to the officer in question whose honor was violated. Nyesom Wike small, don't they enter problem for inside this country. The reason I say so is because everybody for this country knows say Wike like gra too much. Yes, Wike talks to people whichever way it pleases him. According to this retired Lieutenant General Tuko Brutai, he maintained that the integrity of the Nigerian Armed Forces must be preserved without negotiation, and that integrity demands nothing less, such that our nation's security must come first. He further stretched that very issue, saying that it is time to make decisive decision. Nyesom Wike, time to make decisive decision and not playing politics. First of all, I never believed in this country that Nyesom Wike will, first of all, for any reason, take instructions from anybody, let alone a military officer. But Nyesom Wike has to call the Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oluyede, and then give the phone to the military officer who was stationed there for a purpose, on duty, on instructions by a 3-star general. Mona, watch the video first.
Hello, sir. Morning, sir. I'm fine, thank you, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Afternoon, sir. I'm Navy Lieutenant Cheyima, sir. Security officer to Brighton for full time. Yes, sir. So I'm here on the orders. Yes, sir, I'm here on the orders of the army. Sir, we mobilized the site a couple of days ago, sir. And then the engineer kept telling us that policemen are coming to embarrass them and harass them. And they've been coming to threaten them that they don't leave to strike them, to arrest them at all. And then he brought it to our attention. So as the security officer to the Vice Admiral, I was called, and then sir, we acted. Sir, we are not doing anything illegal. We are here on the orders of the Vice Admiral. That's it. Ours is just support and
If you watch the last video I made yesterday, you will hear Nyesom Wike talk about impunity, intimidation, and whatever. I would want you to carefully watch this video so that make you see what Wike tell this traditional ruler in Rivers State. I think around 2020, between 2020 and 2023. Make on listen to what Wike tell the traditional ruler, and what Nyesom Wike also was telling people in another video clip you're going to see shortly.
Stop clapping. You have been selfish. Don't stop clapping. It's not something to clap. It's something that should be done, which is the right thing. It's not because of you, because you won't be there forever. It's to protect the institution. So don't clap because you are there now. So this year we're going to, it will be a serious year. Anybody, stop shaking your head. Because that's sacrifice. You should stop shaking your head. You are one of those who are causing problem. They gave you chieftaincy, you're a young boy, so you don't even know what to do with it. And then when I'm speaking, you're shaking your head like this. Oh, fake. Causing problem everywhere. You just go and wear something that's bigger than you. When somebody looking for power, you would think that an elderly person, very small young man, this man. I know when I was in school, he was running around, going for errand. Now he's wearing Osman Danfodio. That you begin to breach a protocol. He thinks that when he's shaking his head like that, I will be happy. That's fake. That's fake. You think if you do this, you think if you do this, you win anybody's sympathy? No, sir. I'm at this stage. So by the time you do this, you won't get whatever you want. Let's keep quiet. Somebody has spoken on your behalf. Let them tell you what to say. All they want is another. No, it's not talking by doing this. How will you do it? Can you get them now, Governor? Your Excellency.
Well, the retired Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuko Brutai, has made the point very clear. You know what I mean? It was a gross display of rascality. Many Nigerians were very happy. And that very military naval officer is being celebrated everywhere. Even though the naval office, head office, has never mentioned the name of that military officer. I've tried to dig so deep to finding details about him when he joined, the Navy and all of that. But I couldn't get those facts and figures. But as a matter of fact, Nigerians are celebrating that very military officer who comported himself, giving it to Wike back to back with respect and honor, even though Nyesom Wike was verbally assaulting that, naval officer. The same way he goes about talking to people in this country, believing that nothing will happen. Say Naimbi or Gakwatakata Naimbi Egberi Papa of River State and all of that. It is pathetic, and today he's talking about impunity, rascality, inequality, and everything. The same measure he has been giving to people for many years now. He just collects more. If he hold himself. If he endure. But like I've always told people, the rascality you support today will come back to you someday to destroy you, to give you a payback, so that you have, a tip of the iceberg. You have a little bit feel of the pains people feel when you yourself, they dish out rascality or they support rascality they give people. It is pathetic. Like I said in that video yesterday, this kind of thing will only happen in Nigeria. Usually military are not supposed to be, like I said, seen anyhow. You know what I mean? But when they are stationed for a particular purpose, the office of the Federal Armed Forces must also be respected. You know what I mean? It must also be respected. That is what I said in my last video. That the military officer was not doing anything wrong. That he was delegated in that very property for a purpose to do a job. And he must do his job. Whether the FCT minister likes it or not. But Nyesom Wike was raining insult on the young man. Doing what he knows how to do. And today a lot of military officers are calling for sanctions, that Wike should be disciplined, that he should tender an apology to Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu because he disrespected his office as the commander of the Nigerian Federal Armed Forces. And then also tender apology to the naval officer. Make we see whether Wike go apologize. We are still here on the internet space. Now here we park, we no go anywhere. But anyways, as always, I will allow you guys to be the judge.